Thank you for attending today's OfferLogix webinar presented by The Shop, which is powered by ForDirect. Presenting today will be Aaron Bickard from OfferLogix. If you have any questions during the presentation, please type them into your webinar toolbar. Aaron, over to you.
Hey, thank you, John, for having us from OfferLogix. We're looking forward to our partnership from The Shop, powered by ForDirect. And we got some exciting news for the Ford dealerships out there in the great nation of ours of the USA. And today we're going to be talking about soft pulls. But before we get started, I wanted to go through a little agenda for each one of us on this call today to talk about who is OfferLogix and why did The Shop pick us. Why soft pulls? Why is it so important for Ford dealers and Lincoln dealers today across this great nation of ours? Real dealers and some real results. We're going to walk you through 3 dealers today and give you guys some case studies that have showed why soft pulls are so important and how it's going to put real gross profit into your bottom line of your dealership. And then we're going to go live into the platform so you can actually see it live on a Ford dealership that's out of Las Vegas. And then we're going to review some pricing, and of course there's always some questions, some Q&A, so we're going to walk you through that too as well. So here we go. So a little bit about us at OfferLogix. A lot of people don't know who we are, and we're going to tell you a little bit about us. So really, who we are is a trusted partnerships of companies that you've all heard of. So Lithia, we power some full pass customers. We do CarNow. We work with the Cars Commerce, Dealer Inspire area. We work with Epsilon that you guys all know over in the Ford world. And of course, you guys all know Team Velocity, who just came up through the marketplace too as well. What do we do for them? A lot of people ask us a lot of different things. Well, we're behind the scenes. We're a supplier. And this is actually the first time that a supplier has come out and now be able to sell directly to the Tier 3 audience that you are in the Ford dealership world and through the ForDirect partnership. So we power Lithia and Full Path and CarNow and Dealer Inspire and Epsilon and Team Velocity with payments and rebates and incentive information. So anytime you go out to see, with one of these companies out there, you always see rebates and incentives in real time. These are just some of our partners, and we have all the different lenders and captives sitting there. But some of these partners that you see there too on the left also do soft credit pulls. And as you know, today in today's world with inflation at an all-time high, credit is hard to come by. People are spending more money. They want to know what they qualify for. What is their lease payment? What is their finance payment? So we partnered up with ForDirect in The Shop to provide you with a wholesale cost of going to market with soft credit pulls that offer you massive lead generation. And we're going to walk you through that information. And we partnered up with Equifax at OfferLogix. So a little bit about how big OfferLogix is. Well, really simple. We drive calculations and soft pulls for customers like CarNow and Team Velocity. We process over 1.5 billion accurate payments a month. That's a lot of payments. We're in over 8,000 rooftops across this great nation of ours, as well as in Canada and North America. And we've been in business for 13 plus years. So you actually see a little heat map there of dealerships that we power across the country. And we're kind of like the little hidden secret that a lot of people don't know about. And we're bringing it straight to you now, to your Ford and Lincoln dealerships across the USA. So why soft pulls? Well, I know this data is a little old, but I wanted to go through it a little bit so that way you can see it. This data is from 2020. Now, of course, it's right in the middle of what we call COVID. But it actually pertains to where we are today. As you know, COVID was a great time for car dealers, making some great gross profit. You're making more money than ever. OEMs were making more money. They didn't have to worry about rebates and incentive data, so they put a lot of money into the bottom line. But if you take a look at the very top line here, the same day, soft only, 1.6% of the consumers who did a soft credit pull that day had an auto origination loan. But over a 30-day period, as you can see there, it was about a 7.2%. So if you look at the very bottom, the increased life of both, that's about and if they also put a hard pull, which we all know when you go into a dealership, most dealerships pull a hard pull before they send it out to Ford Credit or wherever it is that they're sending it to. And we know that they're pulling it. So 57.9% of the time, they're going to put this information in there, and at both 67.3%. But that's a 133% chance of that person getting an auto origination loan from Ford Credit. But if you look at a couple other things, which I'm going to walk you through here, which is pretty impressive. 66% of those consumers that had both in hard soft pools inquiries open and auto trade within 30 days. 52% of those consumers with only hard inquiries have opened and auto trade within 30 days of an inquiry. Okay, that is a 127% lift over hard pools only. But this is the bullet point that you need to take a look at. 9% of those consumers with only soft inquiries have opened and auto trade within 30 days of an inquiry. So that means that 9% on average across this great nation of the USA who pull a soft pool will buy a car. And that means you have a 9% closing ratio. And now people said to me at the end of the day, they're like, a 9% closing ratio, that's a pretty high closing ratio if we have the right process in place. Well, the great news is we pulled a case study together of 4 dealerships that we have across this area over the last 90 days. Now, this is the last 90 days from May 1st of 2024 to July 31st of 2024. So we can now see the last day analysis, and we pulled across all the 4 dealerships that are currently live on our soft credit pools, and here are some results for you. So as you can see, the top lead source for this particular dealership, which is the Ford House, Wichita Falls dealership, they had 403 finance applications. So those are hard credit pools that this particular dealership is actually pulling. But they had 342 pre-qual soft credit pools, pre-qualifications, and their total revenue off of that over a 90-day period was $70,785. Their average gross revenue was $1,863 per car sold. Their total transactions, they had 38 total transactions. This is where every Ford dealership in the United States love us, is that they had 3 active customers that went through because they already were active. They had 9 lost customers. Those are customers from 12 to 60 months old. And they had 26 conquest customers that bought a car. These are customers who had no idea who the Ford House dealership was, who they were. And they've never bought a car from them, and they never serviced a vehicle from them at all. Here's another dealership, Blue Springs Ford. They had 256 pre-qualifications over those 90 days, and they had 226 finance applications from their website. Their total gross revenue was $87,492. Their average gross revenue over those 26 transactions were $3,365. Again, they had 5 active customers, 4 lost customers, and 17 conquest customers who have never done business with that particular dealership from 5 years or later. And then here's the dealership that we're going to show a live sample of today. Team Ford Las Vegas. Now everyone says, well, of course they're in Las Vegas. There's only 4 Ford dealerships. But let's take a look at this for a second. They had 411 pre-qualification leads from their website, and they had 364 finance applications from their website across the board. They had total gross revenue of $143,629, and their average gross revenue was $4,633. Now, if you just look at just these 3 dealerships, and they had 31 transactions, 8 active, 3 lost, and 20 conquests. If you take a look at that, every dealership in the world are like, I'm signing up. Show us more. How do we get involved in this information? So we're going to walk you through a live demo of what it looks like on Team Ford, so that way you guys can see it through the information. So here's Team Ford website. As you can see, it's powered by Team Velocity Marketing, this website. You can see it sitting here through the information. So if we went into the new inventory, a customer looks there, the #1 area that consumers go to today is inventory or specials. So this particular dealership, has the information sitting here. So we'll just pick out a car. And actually, I'm in the market to buy a Ford Explorer at the present moment. So as you can see, all the Ford Explorer information sitting here. This is live on the website. And then down below, under the SRP here, you're going to see a little CTA. Get pre-approved now. No impact on your credit. We will install this information on any website that you have, from Pixel, from dealer.com, from DealerOn, from Dealer Inspire, whatever website provider that you currently have today. We're fully integrated with all the website providers sitting there, so you don't have to worry about that. So let's just walk you through this information. So if a customer walks in here, they go to the VDP page, automatically pull this information up. You can now see that car comes into this information, has all the MSRP, the customer's looking around, and they see that CTA sitting here. And those customers are sitting, remember, they had 424 information sitting here. They click on this information. They can now see this customized form that we built for that particular dealership. or your dealership or whatever it is. And then we can now put the information in. So we're going to actually use me as a real live example of putting the information in, so you guys can see the how it works and how fast it works. So we're going to walk you through this information. Of course, you know, I don't mind giving out my home address. Come on over and visit anytime. We more than welcome you. And then you don't have to do a date of birth if you don't want to do a date of birth. So I hit submit. Oops, I got to put my phone number in. So let's just do that. So you put the phone number in, automatically comes across to pulling my credit information. It says, please wait. Now, of course, we're on a little webinar here, so it might take a little second to come through. It automatically gives me a nice page sitting here, a nice thank you. You're all set. Information, shop with confidence, gives me all the different information, says all the information. So what happened? We just gave you a confirmation page that it went through. We send you a nice lead to your CRM. It could have DriveCentric, could be eLeads, it could be whatever CRM company you have, Dealer Socket, whatever it is across the board, BIN Solutions. We can send all that information into the system. So now you would have that information sitting there. It automatically sends you a nice secure email, and you get a nice, beautiful dashboard that looks like this. So you will have this completely white labeled for Ford Direct sitting there. So this particular dealership, like I told you, is a Team Velocity customer. You actually be able to see all this information. You'll be able to see over the last 30 days, they received 107 leads from soft credit pools. They received 122 unique leads. And then down below here, you'll see all these different customers sitting here across the board. But before we go through that, I want to be able to take my information, be able to click on that information, and you'll be able to see that Aaron Bickard just came through the information. You can actually see my phone number that I just put in, email address. Of course, why did we send it, the lead to the CRM? You're going to ask that question. Well, first of all, this is very sensitive information, a lot of PII information, so a lot of secured information sitting here across the board. And you'll be able to see the created on, you'll be able to see the updated, you'll be able to see the FICO score of that particular consumer. As you can see, I'm an 808. But this is where we set ourselves apart from any other provider that's sitting out there. And this is why the shop loves us. Because typically when you run a soft credit pool, what do you get? Maybe you get an auto summary, you might get the FICO score, you get all that information, or then maybe you might have to do a hard pool that costs you anywhere from $5 to $6 a pool sitting there. But within our system, you'll now be able to get this information, and you'll be able to pull this information up in real time, which I'm showing you right here live right on this webinar. You'll be able to see all the information right at your fingertips, a complete Equifax bureau. So you'll be able to see all my trade lines, all the information, my FICO score. You'll be able to see all the information sitting here, what my loans are, what my information is, what my outstanding balances are. You'll be able to see everything in real time. No one else offers a full credit bureau that you get back in one view, and you guys will be able to look at this information and be able to decide if they paid their car loans on time, if they paid their mortgages on time, their electric bills on time, whatever it is, all within your fingertips. And you guys will have complete access for you from the shop and from OfferLogix at your fingertips sitting there. Hopefully that was a great demo for you guys, and I'm sure there's going to be some questions after that. So let's go through the demo. Go through the information. And then we have exclusive pricing for you too as well. So one of the great things about the shop is they bring top-notch products to you guys. And depending on the size of the dealership, pre-qual, if you only want to run 50, it's $195 a month. If you want to do up to 100, $395 a month, and then up to 250 is $595 a month. And anything over that is $1.95 per pool. Now, don't miss out on this limited time offer. Register by September 30th, 2024, and we'll waive the initiation fee for you guys to get started. Now, remember all the gross profits they made. They made anywhere from $70,000 to $143,000 at Team Ford for $595 a month. So take time. So I just want to make sure that we go through a couple of things. Just remember, we provide you with everything that you need to get started, from all your website providers, from Pixel Motions to dealer.com to Dealer Inspire to DealerOn, all the Ford Direct preferred website provider. We provide you all the CTAs that you need. We work with them, get it live, we get you guys credentialed, and you guys can be live within 72 to 96 hours from this webinar, and you get no setup fee going for it, and you get a full view of the credit report sitting there at the very end of the information. That's it, Q&A, and hopefully everyone, I went through it quickly because I know attention spans are short and sweet, and I just want to make sure that everybody saw the presentation. Any questions out there?
Thanks, Aaron. If you have any questions for Aaron, please type them into your webinar toolbar. While we're waiting for some more questions to come in, Aaron, we do have a couple already in the queue for you. First question, what makes OfferLogix pre-qualification solution unique compared to other pre-qual tools on the market?
Well, okay, so that's a great question. What makes us unique? Well, first of all, let's step backwards for a second. Number one thing that makes us unique is that every time someone pulls a soft credit pool, you automatically get a full credit bureau of that particular consumer. So instead of getting an auto summary or just a FICO score, you get every one of the trade lines of that particular consumer. So that way you can decide of how you guys want to work with that particular consumer. You can see everything of what that consumer has done. That's number one. Number two is that it's a complete private portal for all the personal information. So you can actually bring all that information back into your dealership, and it's fully integrated into your CRM. And three is we provide all the information that you need to get onto your website provider. So whatever website provider you have, we work with them and we get you fully integrated onto their website platform, working that way.
Thank you. Next question that has come in. What competitive advantage do Ford and Lincoln dealers gain by using OfferLogix?
That's another great question. So the competitive advantage is that we're fully integrated in all the website providers that you currently have today. Any of the other soft credit pool companies that are out there today are not approved vendors by Ford Direct, and we are the approved vendor for Ford Direct in the shop to get all the soft pulls into the system.
Next question. Can you provide details, on how the lead form and communication system integrate with existing websites without impacting significant technical overhead?
Well, there is no technical overhead whatsoever. It's a seamless integration. It comes in an XML or ADF format, and we provide that email back to your CRM or whichever CRM you're on. It doesn't make a difference. And it comes in as a lead source. We provide the lead source. It says Ford Direct, the shop, pre-screen, pre-qual information, and then it goes back. So there is no technical cost to you at all to get that fully integrated.
Great, thank you, sir. What are some of the key benefits of integrating the pre-qual solution directly into the CRM?
Well, the integration, to integrate into the CRM is that way you can keep track of your sources. I mean, reality is, I showed you through the case study, is the number one or number two lead provider of all websites. I can go on and on websites. If it's put into the correct area of an SRP, a VDP, underneath the finance tab, a couple different areas within the website, maybe a banner, say getting pre-approved, all that great stuff. It will become your either number two, most likely. Let's just use the 80-20 rule. 80% of the time, it will be your number one lead provider on all websites across the Ford Direct platforms of all the website providers. The other thing that it also does for you, that we also have dealerships doing, instead of running hard credit pools, within the in-store process, they're doing soft credit pools too as well. So that way they don't have to pay the $4 or $5 or $6 or $7 or $8 there is, because we provide you with that full bureau from Equifax back to you too as well.
Thank you. Next question. What is ballpark pricing for your rebates/incentives? Do you bundle these with the soft pull?
That's yes. That's a great question. So if that's coming from a car dealership, that rebates and incentive information, we don't sell to car dealers directly for rebates and incentives in our penny perfect payments. But that's a great question. We only sell to partners like Ford Direct, Full Path, Epsilon, and so forth. But we do not sell directly to car dealers. So now you're asking the question, why do you guys sell to Lithia? Because we showed you that on there. Well, Lithia bought it at a corporate level, and we power all 340 or 350 rooftops they have, and we provide help with their marketing through their system called LadTech. So we don't provide rebates and incentives directly to car dealerships.
Great, thank you. How does the pre-qual
for you to take advantage of the soft credit pool information that your partners that you buy from wholesale, you will now be buying wholesale just like they do today.
Thanks, Aaron. Apology for stepping on you there. How does the pre-qual feature influence overall time to sell for customers?
How does the pre-qual? Well, that's a great question. Over the last, I always say most customers come in and you provide a lead. It's all about follow up. At the end of the day, so it all depends on the store's process. I'm not going to say that it's one day, as you saw in that case study, it was 1.6%, and then as they move forward, it got up to 9%. But it depends on your process. But the good news is, you run a soft credit pool. It doesn't put in an inquiry on that consumer, which actually helps you out too as well. So if that consumer shops you to another Ford dealership or a Lincoln dealership, it doesn't say it came from Team Ford, Las Vegas, or it doesn't say it came from Sheehy Ford or whatever Ford store there is. You guys can keep it private, because if you do run a hard pull on that consumer, it does put an inquiry and it does lower the FICO score of that consumer, as you know, through a hard pull, but doesn't do anything for a soft pull. So there are advantages of soft pulls for advantages of you at the dealership. So that way, if they do shop you, they can't say down the street that, hey, I was just at this XYZ Ford store or Lincoln store.
Final question in the queue, Aaron. Can you show the pricing slide again?
Yep. Maybe. No, I can't. All right, here we go. Can you see it?
Yes, thank you. And as we close out today, Aaron, any closing comments from you?
Well, we're looking forward to working with each one of you. And I want to thank the shop and Ford Direct, and John, yourself, Chanel, Courtney, and Beth for hosting this webinar. And we're looking forward to powering some of the Ford Direct great dealerships across this great nation of ours with soft credit pools. And I think it's a great time for Ford dealers and Lincoln dealers in your ecosystem to take advantage of the wholesale pricing that their partners get today directly. So we thank you very much for that. And we
Aaron,
don't want to miss out. Make sure you sign up by September 30th, so you do not have to pay the one-time integration fee. It'll save you about $250.
Aaron, thanks for that. Thanks for your time today. Great information. We appreciate you being on here. For those of you attending the webinar, thanks for your time, and don't forget to visit the shop at FordDirect.com. Thanks, everybody, and have a great day.